For our top international story this hour, we are following news that the censored Al Jazeera investigation into the Israel lobby in the United States has finally seen the light of day. Early on Friday, 2 episodes from the 4-part series were leaked by the Electronic Intifada and France-based Orient 21. In a clip released by EI earlier in the week, Julia Reifkind, an American working at the Israeli consulate, admits to an undercover journalist that she monitors student supporters of Palestine and runs sock puppet social media accounts on behalf of the embassy.
Intel reporting back to Israel. That's a lot of what I do. Is report back to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Ministry of Strategic Affairs. I have several weird Facebooks. I have my fake Facebook that I follow, like all the SJP accounts. I have like some fake name. My name is Jay Bernard or something. So it just sounds like an old white guy, which is the plan.
The student group Reifkind refers to in that clip is Students for Justice in Palestine. That's just one of the many explosive scenes from the series, which you would think any journalistic organization would be proud to produce. But not Al Jazeera, apparently. See, despite investing years into researching, filming, and editing the project, and even completing it in 2017, the network opted to censor the production. Why? Ironically, because its government funder, Qatar, was influenced by the very groups it was investigating, the Israel lobby. In June, EI confirmed Jazeera delayed the film's release, quote, over national security fears, including that broadcast of the film could add pressure for the U.S. to pull its massive Al Udeid air base out of the Gulf state, or make a Saudi military invasion more likely. EI adds, quote, one of the Israel lobby groups whose activities are revealed in the film has been mounting a campaign to convince the U.S. to withdraw its military forces from Qatar, which leaders in the emirate would see as a major blow to their security. The pro-Israel lobby group Zionist Organization of America boasted that its director, Morton Klein's, quote, numerous exhaustive and round-the-clock meetings in Doha, Qatar, with the emir and other top Qatari officials helped convince the government to scrub the project. Co-founder of the Electronic Intifada, Ali Abunimah, who obtained the film, told me why he believes Americans need to see it.
This is solid journalism. Nobody watching it can doubt the information in it, the undercover reportage, the footage. That's why the Israel lobby worked so hard to suppress this, because they can't refute what's in it. Contrast the intensity and the scope of the Israel lobby interference, spying on American citizens, sabotage and manipulation that this documentary shows, which is all real, with the massive, hoopla over so-called Russiagate, which has yielded nothing. There was a story in the New York Times, I think, yesterday saying, oh, where are the Russians? They're not showing up in the U.S. midterm elections. There was never any there with Russiagate. Well, Israelgate, as we could call it, is real. The evidence is there. It's there in this film. And the mainstream media in the U.S. and the U.S. political class just don't want to talk about it.
With the lobby in question, we're joined now by former UK MP George Galloway to discuss. George, what's your reaction to this documentary now leaking and the point you just heard Ali Abunimah from the Electronic Intifada make?
Well, it's a brilliant piece of reportage. I've just watched it in the last hour. And the Al Jazeera ought to be proud of the work that their people did. And it's a sorry state of affairs that they were bullied, browbeaten. I guess they weren't bribed. It's hard to bribe people who've got everything. But in every other way, they were stopped from getting the proper credit for this work. And what Ali Abunimah just said is the key point. You have been fixated, paralyzed, actually. Your government has been paralyzed for 2 whole years over a Russiagate chimera, phantom, which doesn't exist, whilst in plain sight, at least when you got undercover reporters on the job, it can be seen that Israelgate has utterly dominated and distorted your own country's national interest. The first edition of the lobby, of course, took place here. The penetration of the British political system is, if anything, even more serious.
And tell us exactly what the impact of the lobby's release was in the UK.
Well, virtually nothing, just like this in the United States. The mainstream media almost wholly ignored it, even though an Israeli embassy official, a proper PACA accredited diplomat, was caught on tape plotting to bring down, in his words, a British Foreign Office minister. Any self-respecting country would have ordered the Israeli ambassador to leave the country at that point. But in fact, it was glossed over, laughed about, and business as usual was resumed. And the very same tactics of subversion, subterfuge that are exposed in this US lobby film are still continuing to this day. A good friend of mine, Chris Williamson, a leading politician, maybe the next leader of the Labour Party, just this day has been stopped from speaking at Sheffield University by the same kind of forces at work. So Al Jazeera's programs have not yet worked in waking up the American or British political class to what's going on under their noses.
It was remarkable to hear this Israeli embassy official speak openly about her use of fake internet accounts, social media accounts to, track U.S. students and their views on Palestine and Israel and to spread information and monitor it. It's kind of what we've heard, as we say, accusations coming down about Russian trolls doing this, and yet nothing is being said about what's now admitted on video in this clip. But I want to hear from Ali Abunimah one more time. He spoke with me earlier, and I asked him to just explain how exactly Qatar was lobbied to scrub this film.
As part of Qatar's effort to, desperately get back into Washington's good graces, Qatar launched a huge charm offensive towards the Israel lobby, which included inviting some of the most right-wing, extreme pro-Israel figures in the U.S., people like Morton Klein, the head of the Zionist Organization of America, and Alan Dershowitz. And for those people and other Israel lobby figures, suppressing this documentary was an absolute priority.
Very briefly, George, we're no critic of state-funded media here, or don't look down on them. RT's funded by a government. But what exactly happened here? Was a line crossed?
Qatar was under real threat of invasion by the United States' main ally in the region, Saudi Arabia. They were terrified that their entire country would be taken over and their system demolished. So force majeure has been applied here, and it's a great pity. It's a discredit on everyone involved, but the reporters of Al Jazeera can be rightly proud of a brilliant piece of journalism that will last forever.
And thanks to the Electronic Intifada and other organizations, we can at least see it online. Thank you so much, former UK MP George Galloway.
Hey YouTube, thanks for checking out our channel. We hope you enjoyed the video. We have tons of content for you just like this. For more of RT America's one-of-a-kind news and analysis, be sure to subscribe and never stop questioning more.